guess if you let the game go a bit too long, you certainly have to really build up in your drow just to burn through. The Lina would have been great for, and TNC did pick that up first. Would have allowed them some way of going through that early tankiness that the heroes TNC does have.
Certainly would have. Still, though, Fnatic will have two other options in their draft to try and deal with this DK later on. I'm sure they've watched the replays of what TNC has done with this Dragon Knight, and they'll probably be very prepared for it. Though TNC will go into the Earthshaker, fair enough. So a hero that hasn't really popped up much over the past couple days. Not really sure how it's going to go in this meta. I imagine it still will be very viable. Overall, it does give them some good team control, some good roaming ability with this hero, so I don't mind it.
Yeah, overall, I mean, Shaker did receive some nerfs in this patch, but overall it still performs pretty much the same. And it's going to be interesting to see TNC run it. It just gives them so much more wombo combo as well, so much more control. They already have great control with the Doom and DK. Like, especially if Doom does the Centaur with a Stomp, you already have that great piece of control. With the Shaker on top, TNC can certainly force issue a lot. I like that pick up against the Tusk as well. So you're going to have to watch out for your snowball targets now. And if here with Tusk, because Shaker will punch that clump up. So it's a great pick from TNC, and it's also very in line with the rest of the team. All the heroes are kind of red, Mike.
They certainly are, John. You have been enjoying these color schemes as of late, so it's always good for you to point those out, sir. Of course, Fnatic more blue and dark at the moment. Fourth pick for them. They are using a lot of reserve time for this fourth pickup, but it will be the Omni Knight, which has been a very popular kind of off-lane to have for multiple teams now. Just very difficult to deal with, especially in those engagements when you pop that Guardian Angel. Basically, the team fight stops for the opposing team. So I do like that being picked up. TNC, they'll get rid of the OD, and Fnatic, one more ban for them. But it does feel like, if you look back at Fnatic's draft, it looks slightly lacking, doesn't it? It's almost like they don't have enough teamfight control or just something big, like an AoE ability. It feels a little bit lacking.
Yeah, it definitely is. You compare that to what TNC had with the Shaker, with the Doom, with Lina, it certainly isn't up to par there. They have much stronger single target potential with Tusk, just jumping into someone, getting that simple gank going, and they do have a sort of combo breaker with that Omni Knight, so they can stall out a fight, but they really need something to tie it in together here for their last pick. They have been running the puck a lot. Now, that could have been a support puck. We weren't around to watch those games, but they have been running the puck. That is an option they could fall back to. However, the meta has certainly fit support much more. We haven't actually seen too many core pucks, so I'm not sure if that's really going to be the pick. The OD would have been great if TNC didn't ban it out. Fortunately, they did see that it would have been too good against the heroes they had, particularly Dragon Knight. They do not deal well with the OD. There aren't too many heroes left, like perhaps the Queen of Pain, but that's a hero that we really haven't seen in a long time. It does give them the needed burst they need, really need to eat through these really tanky heroes, give them great wide damage. It's just not really strong in control. They go with the Emperor instead. So that gives them some control and good magic damage. It doesn't quite pull away the damage they have about their team fight capability, but it does give them a way of eating through the DK and Doom at the very least. So you have a way of handling those heroes. Their team fight is still somewhat lacking, at least in terms of overall control.
If I may, there, John, that's an Emma Spirit going into a Doom. If he gets doomed, he can't do anything. Of course, the Earthshake is there as well to keep him locked down. You've got plenty of stuns there, so this isn't going to be the easiest Emperor game in the world.
Yeah.
Fnatic must be feeling quite confident to pick this up. Fair enough, we'll see what they can get done with. Of course, he will have the assistance of the Omni Knight behind him to try and make sure he stays alive, but it's just the Doom I'm worried about the most for this Ember. I imagine...
Yeah, it's...
The thing is, like, this Doom is going to have multiple targets though, right? Like, you still want to get the Omni Knight as well. You don't want to really leave him undoomed throughout the team fight. So
yeah, it's really down to the prioritization of targets here for TNC. I'd say you might still be better off doing the Omni Knight regardless. like, you can still stun lock the Ember Spirit with the Shaker, with the DK. You know, it's not going to be too hard. I mean, it's still going to be a challenge. It's an Ember Spirit. It's going to be very slippery if you don't have anything like a Hex. But the priority should still be the Omni Knight in these big team fights. Again, we've seen the effect of an Omni Knight that just doesn't die. And as a consequence of that, the rest of the team doesn't die, which could cause issues for TNC. Their lineup really wants to take these team fights and take control of the map that way, just shut down the enemy team in a big fight. Maybe FANATIC isn't quite as strong in that setting, although if you give the Drow enough time, I guess you could just eat everyone alive. We've seen that a couple of times as well.
Well, TNC, 10 seconds reserve time left. They're not even going to use that 10 seconds. They will go into the pattern again. And we've seen KP on this hero multiple times. How are they going to line all this, though?
Oh.
Armel's in the mid laner, fair enough. Gabby, going to be on the DK, but who's in the off? Is it going to be the Doom? Is it going to be the Baron? I have not seen support Doom, but I imagine it must be a position 5.
No.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I mean, support Doom was a thing for a while.
Okay.
It escalates in the jungle. This meta definitely fits 3 cores, 1 semi-core. Doom certainly can farm up like a semi-core. So you've got for TNC. It is slightly worrying because we have seen KP play the Abaddon, and to be frank, it was not great. It was kind of terrible the way that lane went. It's just not time anymore. You can't deny yourself, so when you drop really low, you're kind of just forced to go back or die, which gives the enemy team gold, slows down your EXP gain, yada yada yada. It's just not a good story so far. It's going to be interesting to see who exactly they pair up with KP, or if they're just going to toss him low in the off lane. Either way, I feel like Abaddon core on the off is just really lackluster at the moment. We saw TNC try it a couple of times. It hasn't worked out. Perhaps this time it will. They do have much more aggressive supports that could pick up the pace here. It's still a rather strange last pick in my opinion.
Well, it seems like they've been really sacrificing KP a lot in these games that they've been having. I suppose we'll see what TNC's game plan is here. They probably just want to have the DK available again, and of course the Abaddon does in with the Aphotic Shield. So I guess we'll have to find out. TNC versus FANATIC, game number 1. The tip's already going out towards March on the Doom.
So sweet.
Of course, Gabby is going to be in the same lane on that DK. He is going to have March there as support. But you talked about it before. March will probably be jumping between the lane and jungle quite a bit, trying to get that farm up himself. Of course, Armel in the mid lane on the laner is going to be up against Moon on that Ember. The top lane will have KP on that Abaddon. For now, he will have Tims there as support on the Earthshaker. And it looks like FANATIC may run a tri-lane. They've got DJ there on the Tusk. You'll see Jabs on the Venge, and of course 23 Savage will be on the Drow. Looks like FANATIC will just do this 2 protect 1.
30 seconds.
Make sure this Drow can get as much farm as possible, because the lineup is very, very reliant on 23 Savage having a good game.
Yeah, not only that, but a tri-lane like this can really punish a hero like Abaddon. He does not have great early game presence. His level 1 to 2 are really, really bad right now, considering that he can't just get himself denied for free. So KP's gonna have to watch his spacing here, and he's gonna have to be very conscious about the physical damage output that FANATIC does have with these 3 heroes.
Burns, doesn't it?
Well, 2 for 2 bounty trade. Very even start between both these teams. KP already getting chased down by Jabs on the Venge. We'll see Tims going for the lock on the creep wave. Well, Savage is going to try and match that, but it looks like he has let the wave go. So at the very least, you have the creep wave quite close to the off-lane tower on the side of TNC. In fact, we'll have another block coming out, so it's going to be very, very close. At least you're sure that this Abaddon can get level 2 or 3 before he does get shot. I think that should be okay for KP.
Yeah, it would certainly be a better story than the past few games. I remember a time we saw him stuck at level 2 at about, what, 4 to 5 minutes, which it's really a rough time. I think just the way TNC plays right now, there's a lot more emphasis on the other lanes than they're off, which really hurts KP.
Denied.
That mid lane, Armel should have a pretty decent time. Up until those later levels of Moon, he shouldn't really be able to apply that much pressure onto Armel unless he is out of position. So Armel should essentially free farm this mid lane, at least for a few minutes. He already has started. So Moon will try to apply some pressure with that Ember. Flame that has worn off now, so he'll have to run back. Still doing pretty well considering the circumstances. 7-7 on both ends of things. Meanwhile, FANATIC playing behind the T1 TNC. Looks like KP will do the exact same thing up in the off lane. Trying to pull the creep wave away from the side of FANATIC. Should be successful in doing so as well. There might be a little rotation from DJ to try and punish a bit, but ultimately he should get away with it. Though I'll say that now coming in now. You slow him down, KP, pick up a bit of damage. Tims is going to be there on the Earthtaker, but he is actually shooting quite low. They don't have the magic missile though, so they won't be able to perma-stun him up. He will barely get away with this life intact.
Yeah, that's a ridiculous amount of damage just from these two supports. The Wave of Terror along with the Blightstone and the tag team just means if you're not careful, you're going to be trading very unfavorably with just two supports. You didn't even have 23 Savage Terror.
We'll have a look at that bot lane as well. Gabby trying to apply some pressure onto Ice on the Omni. Marge will follow up as well. Of course, this Omni is going to be fairly safe. You can use the same song for multiple times in this bot lane. Just keep using that purification. He won't really be able to slow down too much though. But this DK should be getting some pretty good farm as well.
Yeah, and we have seen what happens when a DK does get a decent start. This is just going to be a farm trading lane. I think the key thing with having the Omni Knight the off lane is that March on the Doom is not going to be pressured at all. So he's going to be able to play this greedy Doom just fine.
That's exactly what he was doing right now. He's farming up that jungle slowly. Get a pull. Just wants to keep creep wave next to his T1 tower. Don't make it easy for Ice. Gabby will just continue farming up the best you can. Top lane, though, shards will come out from DJ and KP. He's got knocked out of the ones. Tim, he tried to filter out, but unfortunately nobody really got blocked off in the end. And DJ had already thrown the shards out prior to the pump procking.
Yeah, it's that damage. It's just insane. Frost Arrows has bonus, you know, the minus armor is there from the Venge tag team. You just can't afford to overextend, which makes it very hard for KP to just walk and right click. He's gonna be punished every single time he's gonna go for any last hit.
Certainly going to be a bit of a struggle for it, but he's used to it by this point. He knows what he's doing. To that mid lane, Armel has really started to take over in terms of last hits. 27-11 in comparison to the 16-1 of Moon. This was kind of expected. Again, the matchup does just favor Armel. Certainly taking complete advantage of it for now. Meanwhile, up the top lane once again, there's a bit of a shard being thrown out onto KP, but he'll be okay this time around. Tim's was there just in case. But FANATIC, they're doing a great job of allowing Free Savage to free farm this top lane. He's 27-7 right now on this draft, and there's just been no real pressure applied at all. He's just doing perfectly fine. Though Moon will get taken down mid lane, but they will find the trade onto Armel. So nice rotation there from March on the Jabs will do the same and finds the trade, but Armel certainly will be happier about that as he did get the kill before he died.
Yeah, it's a much bigger win there for TNC, and that's one of the great things about having a Doom support. You just pop in the jungle. If you have anything like the Purge, which March does have, just go in after farming for a bit, find a kill. Really easy way to just get that lane going, and that's one of the powers of Doom. He grows big by just farming, and he can pop in any lane depending on what creep he picks up.
Purge right now. Can apply a little bit of pressure on Ice if he wishes to, and that's exactly what he will do. Ice doesn't really have the mana to use purification. March is going to continue beating him down. He's not going to find the kill, but or maybe he will. He'll purge him again. Ice does get the soul ring, heals himself up. March doesn't have enough damage to follow up with this after purification. But had that soul ring not come in by Ice, he basically would have been dead.
Oh, and he's forced to shrine up now as well, which is going to make it a bit tougher for Moon. He's not going to have that closer shrine to help him out, so just a little bit more taken away from Fnatic there.
Yeah, the Moon's currently farming a lot of stacks in the jungle. I believe that might be a triple or triple stack. It's going to be a fair bit of golden XP going Moon's way, and something that he kind of needed. Was just falling a little bit behind in that mid. But he'll catch up now. Still March trying to show himself once again. Doesn't really get in range from that perch. Will require Melt and LSA off if he does wish to close the gap. He is continuing to just keep vision on Moon, ensure they know exactly where he is. That Moon will be perfectly fine though, as it looks like March will rotate up top, where Fnatic is again just taking over this lane, but now Tim's gonna go for Fisher, doesn't throw it out, couldn't quite get the block off. Fnatic will happily back out there.
You know, something I want to point out, when you go for these stacks early on, like Moon, he went for that stack. That was before 7 minutes in, but didn't have neutral drops. There's actually a trade-off to trying to get that catch-up farm earlier than 7 now, because you could potentially miss out on some early items that could help your cause.
Well, certainly. Was a bit early. He may have felt like he just needed it. Still, certainly not the most efficient play from Moon, but I'm sure he has his reasons. Back at Gabby, he's got the minus up on the DK, so he's just been to farm up for quite a while. It's a pretty decently timed minus as well, as about 7.5 minutes in when he got it. Well, you haven't been contested at all on the DK, so you can afford to do this. And if you look at the net worth graph, John, Gabby is at the top by about 3.6k.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen DKs just get a pretty good start. I think the fastest minus we've seen so far has been about 10 minutes in. So 7.5 is pretty darn good for Gabby. He doesn't have boots, but hell, he doesn't need him. Like, again, no contest down here. Just him and Ice trading farm, and, well, Ice isn't trading favorably.
We'll see DJ rotating in now as the task.
Money to burn.
Not going to make it play. He'll just put a ward down, keep vision on Gabby, but there was already a sentry placed there by March. So we'll get the water immediately by Gabby. We'll see now coming into the bot lane as well. They really want to try and shut this DK down a bit. Now, he is fairly tanky, but it should be enough. They can just put him a sunny up. They'll get one. Chance of there as well. He gets that dragon form, and now the rotation's coming in. DJ, he's going to be in trouble. March should be able to help, and he does. Finds the kill. He's got the max dragon blood, John. It is very hard to get damage on this DK fast enough.
Yeah, this is one of the reasons why you tend to not gank a level 8 DK. You basically just don't kill him. And that is a very rough gank coming out from Fnatic. They do feel the pressure. Like, they understand Gab's couldn't get too much in this lane. I don't think you have the tools to really slow that down at this point, although they'll try again.
They certainly will. Gabby just going to TP out of there, though. And we'll be pretty safe. Moon was probably the added damage they needed, but unfortunately for him, he won't have the opportunity to go after the Dragon Monk. They can go for a tier 1 tower now. The only person there at the bot lane defend is March, and they spotted him out now. And that's going to start making the chase. They get the magic missile off, and that should just be a dead mark. Yep, certainly Moon will go ahead and pick that up, and they will transition straight into that tier 1 tower.
Yeah, it's a nice pick for Fnatic. They do lose tier 1 up top as well. We did see, I believe, Armel just walk up there to take that tower out. So an even trade in terms of towers, and I don't believe TNC is going to feel too bad about losing March. He does respawn fairly quick, and he has dual ump now. So this is the point where TNC, with March, probably are going to be looking for slow pickoffs.
Illusion.
I saw Moon picking up a mango tree before. I wonder where he's placed it. Can't quite see it around the map yet. We did see yesterday, I believe it was, the mango tree giving full vision over the Roshan pit if you do place it next to the Roshan. So I wonder if Fnatic will take advantage of that, or whether they'll put it somewhere else.
Oh, come on, Moon.
Moon gonna be in trouble bot lane. There is a smoke up as well, but Moon getting chased down. They get the Fisher off, and that'll be a dead Ember. Still though, top lane, can they find KP on the Abaddon? He does have borrowed time available, and they, well, he doesn't really have it around, so it is almost a guaranteed death for the Abaddon. He's going to try and just juke him out, waste as much time as possible, but DJ will get the Walrus pump up. Still KP making a run for it, but they've got the stuns out. Can he survive much longer? Probably can. He's got the Aphotic Shield available, but they will burst that out. KP is still making a run for it.
No.
Does he really get out of this?
No.
It's like he does. No. He gets tipped by a melt out.
No.
That is very unfortunate for Fnatic. And he gets the outpost.
Yeah, no, that's a really bad sign here for Fnatic. Well, this is going to be the story of the game. If they can't kill off this Abaddon, who's had a pretty rough time, how to kill the other cores?
Echo Slam committed by Tims. He just locks down the Ember once again, and that's going to be Moon's second death in about within a minute. Not good news for Fnatic. It's going to make it a 4-3 now and a 2k net worth lead for TNC. And like I said, I mean, just judging by that kill that kill attempt that we saw up top, it doesn't really spell good news for the start. It's 23 Savage now. Gonna get dove on by KP. Fisher not there in time. They got the swap off onto Jabs. Jabs will go down for his trouble though. Can Fnatic punish? They're gonna give it a shot. Gabby is just outrunning them. Eyesight still moving forward. Moon now joining in as well as the Ember. So there's the NSA, and they will just walk out.
It's a rough time when you're losing heroes like this. At the very least, they remove the pressure from the mids. Their tower is still going to be up for a bit longer. That does allow 23 Savage and Moon to farm much safer in that jungle. But the moment they lose this tier 1, it's just going to be much, much harder to get these two heroes farmed up. They're not quite there yet in terms of net worth. A lot more farming to do before Fnatic can start pushing back.
Certainly do. See March pick up a smoke now, just on the courier. It's like TNC understanding their advantage at this point, may to push it further by going for a quick smoke attempt. Ice has to be very careful about the positioning here, but he does have teammates behind him.
Money to burn.
So they are going to try and push in that wave a little bit and maybe just take the outpost. That's exactly what they would do. So both teams just trading outposts once again. Just want to have them prior to that 15-minute mark. TNC, at least for now, just not smoke up. They'll just hold on to it. I imagine they'll probably go around that 15-minute mark and try to get an outpost once again. Perhaps just get some boundary runs for themselves. Looks like Fnatic have the exact same idea. We'll see Jams buying up a smoke, so we should have some smoke action very, very soon.
Works, doesn't it?
But Gabby, gonna see if he can snipe the tier 1 tower beforehand. Does pop the dragon form. He can just go in, he right away. Looks like there will be a swap going on though. They found March on the Doom and they will kill him very, very quickly. Still, Gabby is just going for objectives, so they swap him in as well. The Fisher will there to help Gabby. A bit of a sitting duck. There's the Aphotic Shield trying to help him out. He's taking a lot of damage, but no. Ice will take him out. Now the Shards and Legion block AB out his own side of the river. Borrowed time will give him the time to get out though. So they find a major kill in the form of the DK and March, and not only that, but they do fall March's buyback.
Yeah, it's a pretty big win for Fnatic. That's definitely something they needed. That Dragonite was going to be a big issue for them. They still lose their tier 1 at the very least. Jabs does get the deny this time around, so the gold's not going there. The control given to TNC is pretty big though. Like, they've only lost one tier 1. Fnatic's down 2 tier 1s now. So their jungle is just that much more unprotected without that mid-tier 1, and that just means TNC can definitely exploit that, which they have been doing quite well anyway.
Good news, I find the mango tree. It is down to the south on that little cliff there. Observe ward. We call that One Tree Hill now. Yeah, mangoes. I'm not sure how they're planning to get those mangoes. Quite a delicious fruit. Fnatic will sort it out later on, I'm sure. Looks like Ice make his way back up. Just push out that creep wave again.
Never refuse gold.
You can see they have all back now.
Another triumph.
Tims, does he have a blink dagger? Yeah, he does. He's got one on the way now on the courier, and that's going to be a pretty big item for Tims. Fairly early on, at 16 minutes. With that, I imagine March will pop smoke, at least with this Earthshaker. Looks like Armel will join in on Lena. Who are they going for? Straight up to the top lane. They want Ice. Now, that's probably the hardest target to get aimed for, to be fair. They have confidence in themselves. They get the Gecko off. Ice is going to TP at the right time. Jabs may not be so lucky though. Maybe not. Tims, he gets the Fisher off. I thought he may have had a second, but not quite. We'll give him the Laguna. I suppose with Fnatic, you'd still be okay with the fact that you haven't lost your Omni. In fact, they are going to find Gabby, but they will move the shards, so Gabby will just happily fly off.
All wands will break.
Yeah, definitely not the smoke target they were looking for, but a kill's a kill. Just make use of spells. They still have the slam when they want to use it. The blink has sort of been revealed if they did check inventory though.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Fnatic trying to a bit of pressure towards that mid T1 tower. They'll just leave the Drow illusions there. Yeah, look at 23 Savage's farm. It has slowed down quite a bit. He's fallen behind the TK as well as Armel and Melina. Got the Yashra as well as Dragonland. It's not enough to really help his teammates yet. A bit more. Speaking of though, Moon will go ahead and pick up the Maelstrom now, so he does have a lot more magic damage coming in on this Ember. And that should really assist in this DK, or at least trying to take him down. And they will go for an immediate smoke. Where do you go though?
No sorceries avail.
Go through that west side jungle on the Radiant. KP again. It's his target to go for. They definitely want to try and find backlines first. Armel though going to TP out. In fact, no, he cancels that off. Fnatic are waiting high ground. So it looks like they will not find the opening. Jabs' has been broken anyway, and Fnatic, they are going to back off at least for now.
Yeah, the thing that gave Fnatic's rotation away was actually Ice.
Okay, stunned up, get chained up, still gonna find his swap in as well, but he has Burrow time available. Now tag team off, there's the Burrow time, they can jump in. Guardian Angel's there, but Jabs is already dead to the breathe fire of Gabby, and now they're doing the Omni. They don't want any more shenanigans from this Omni Knight, and they will just try and burst him down immediately, and that's exactly what TNC do. Ice goes down, DJ trying to get the hell out of there, but it looks like Gabby is not going to leave the man alone. He'll go for Snowball, but more importantly, they found the Ember. Moon goes down to Armel on the Lena, and Gabby is not done. He wants the beast. 23 Savage trying to make a run for it. Gabby will not catch him, but he will be able to apply perhaps a bit of pressure towards that T2 tower now. All right, let's just keep going. EK, he's not done yet, but March will purge him up. Snowball's gonna be there towards KP. Now Savage comes back in. There's a swap there onto DJ, burning out, and he does go down. Jabs, he'll go down as well. Savage did find a double kill though. He got the Doom. He got KP for the abandoned. So Fnatic perhaps not gonna be too upset about that. It's a fair bit of gold going to their position 1.
Yeah, it's a decent enough situation out of a pretty rough time. At the very least, the kills did go to 23, but overall, you're not going to be happy about that. You lost your Ember Spirit. I'd argue that you should have farm priority at this point, like early on. It just needs to be online that much faster before the BKBs start flying out, before everyone else is just way too tanky for him to burst. With his magical damage, he needs to be strong now, and he's not quite there yet. He needs a lot more gold. That's definitely slow him down a bit.
We'll get a little bit calm between these two. We do spend an 11-7, 5k net worth lead for TNC. Of course, net worth has been their way the whole time. It literally has not been a Fnatic's way once this game. Fnatic though may loop around and find Tims on the Earthshaker. No, they're looking to go for the Roshan attack. And with the now, you do have a lot. Look at this. This is ridiculous.
Oh yeah.
This Roshan at 20 minutes in, dying to pretty much just Drow Ranger, and TNC will have no time to react to this. The Aegis will go away at 23 Savage.
Jeez.
A little bit too fast.
no, it didn't feel like a roach at all. It felt like maybe a pretty big ancient creep, but that will give FANATIC a bit more leeway in terms of fights, in terms of getting ganked up. They have a safety net now on 23, so it's going to feel a bit safer as it still continues to build up.
At least buy FANATIC more time. Savage. Now he has the Hurricane back up. Looks like he is going to go straight into the Butterfly next. In fact, he might have the Sarge on the way, but no, that's DJ's courier. So Sam, I'm just going to hold on to the Yasha, go for the Butterfly instead. Just fair enough. It's like March isn't going for anything special. He's just going for a Soul Crest up next after the drums. He does have the Philosopher's Stone available, so you've got that added permanent going towards that Doom. It certainly helps the cause. FANATIC now. I'm gonna start forcing that top tier 1 tower. TNC not gonna allow this to go down to 3 zones. No, will TP up. He does go into the Shadow Blade as well. Just find the yields onto LSA though was too late. And it does allow the remnant away from this Ember. He'll just go back down bot where he knows it's safe. Start farming that up instead.
It's a tricky one to cat Ember like that. You really have to be on point with the LSA. Even then, we've seen that time and time and again where unless you have a really hard Swords of Lockdown or if you really catch him by surprise, Ember Spirits tend to slip away like that. So you'd want either a Doom or really just a long-range stop from the Shaker.
Straight away, the Doom, no hope, he's gone straight away, but they found him. Oh, Visual will be there from Tims to try and save his Lina. In fact, they have detection. Moon, they did dust him up. Mel trying to go for the speed. Surely he doesn't get away like this, but he does. Oh, Moon, he didn't have the mana for the chains. Oh, that's a real shame. It was the main target they wanted. And now FANATIC, they go for an immediate smoke and try to surprise the side of TNC. Gabby was their closest target. Gabby will run to the other side of the map. Although maybe he won't. He thinks about changing his mind.
Radiant's
May find him in this mid lane.
Radiant are scanning.
You don't have swap charges available. KP, afraid to smoke. Again, this is a very hard target to try and go for. He does have borrowed time to Gabby. He'll jump in with the Dragon Form. And now the Echo. Tims, he found all 3 of them. It's a lot of damage sharps. He'll go down straight away. The Guardian Angel will protect them for at least a bit. Mel just trying to get out of there. The Doom is there on the Drow though. Savage. He'll lose the Aegis. Who do they go for now? It looks like they are going to stick to the Drow. Perhaps even DJ on task and he will go down. Now somebody turns around, he will get KB at the very least, and they do go for Gabby. Gabby just wants to get up. Moon still going. Gabby just try and man fight, but he does go down to 23 Savage. It looked pretty with that Echo Slam from Tims, but the Aegis from Savage allowing them to turn around and win that team fight.
Yeah, I mean, that was a really good counter initiation from TNC. They did find 2 heroes, if you count the Aegis, but it wasn't enough, and might just a bit too little too late. That was the blink reveal on Gabby as well. It's a good attempt, but they couldn't handle the Drow, even if they got her twice. I think the issue is, by the time KP finishes his borrowed time, he doesn't actually do as much as you'd expect, and everyone else is going to be soaking up that damage. So the issue there was fighting into the axe. It just doesn't work out for TNC there, especially if it's on 23 seconds. On that was so really good plays from both teams. Just counter initiation, counter initiation, working out again FANATIC favor. So that's going to give them some breathing room here. Does swing net worth to their advantage, 1k. So they've got a little bit better of a better time now in the game. It's still fairly close from both sides. Turned to 12 at 25.5 minutes in. The teams are really just kind of matched up here.
Savage gonna find KP in the mid lane. Moon will be there as well. This time KP does not have help. Didn't proc the borrowed time as the silence was there from the Drow Ranger. For the first time this game, FANATIC do now have the net worth advantage. It is only by
You'll have to do
1k,
better
but it
than
is
that.
certainly a great sign for this Dire's side. We'll have
Radiant's middle tower is
that
under
win
attack.
probability, and it was TNC by about 70%, but now you'll see that FANATIC have it by about 60% their way.
It's at this moment where FANATIC is kind of stronger. I mean, you don't have the best of farm on Moon, but he can really leverage his ability and his slipperiness now, especially since he has a BKB. You've got Savage who's pretty much farmed up. That Silver Edge just allows them to really burst down heroes like the Dragonite, even heroes like the Abaddon. As long as you get the silence off and the break off, he's not going to have his Bard time available. So you've got all that working in FANATIC's favor now. And it's TNC's turn to kind of step back and rethink their game plan here. They haven't taken these big team fights favorably in a while, a couple of fights, and I don't think we've seen too many Dooms coming out from Marshall, so they've got to somehow find the right targets with their Doom and really leverage the fights off of that.
When Moon LSA going to be there, Laguna straight away, and he just gets bursted. They'll find the Venge as well. Jabs cannot sustain the damage. And that's one of those plays you were talking about from TNC. They find two pretty decent pickups. Can they find any more? They'll fall from that top 2 tower. FANATIC, are they still around? Actually not, they will run straight towards that mid lane. And see though, do they stop? They've still half the duration of that dragon form available. And the answer, no, they absolutely do not. They keep going.
Dire's top tower is under attack. Dire's structures are fortified.
They've only got a buyback on Moon right now. The Venge does not have one. Still got the Echo on Pims. And that P3 melting so fast. They'll take it. Gabby, though, he's not done. He wants the melee racks as well. Savage trying to do some damage, but he's been tickling this Dragon Knight. And that'll be one rack gone. Just like that.
It's hard to take these fights without Moon. You really need Moon there. You need the Venge there to isolate him here as well. And Savage did good damage, but it's not enough against 3 tanky heroes. You can't do all of that damage alone. All he needs the minus armor from Venge, the aura, and the tag team right in the middle, and DJ is not going to commit in a 4v fight.
You see how Mel, you've got that line break now up on the laner. So you've got that silence essentially every 20 seconds. Very nice item for Mel. Shut down Moon and he can't just get away, and of course Moon does have the BKB up now. After the BKB is over, could be problematic for this Ember. See Savage, always on range and nudge on. 400 bonus range, seems pretty balanced on a Drow with the Vengeful Spirit, but that's exactly what Savage does get, and so he will be able to attack from an absolute mile away. We'll see how it all pans out as TNC, they've smoked up. They're towards the bot lane. They know Moon's there, but Moon, of course, just going to try and back up before they get anywhere near him. Just running out of safety.
Yeah, they broke the tree as well. They did that ward area. So FANATIC's vision is gone from down there, which is a bit of a shame. They do smoke up. They are looking for the Roshan. Not quite up. Is up soon though.
Yeah, just a little bit too early.
Oh,
They
man.
need 5 seconds to have that Roshan up. And that's a real shame for FANATIC. They don't have the vision either, I don't believe. But they'll send a Centaur in, and now they will spot it out. Still though, TNC seem to be aware of this. They do make their way up top. They go for a 5v5 team fight. Moon, still the outpost, but gets stunned up. Gab just moving straight in. Savage will get started on this. DK is actually melting quite fast. Survive this. It looks like he can't, but he's still in there. He'll 4-staff out, but Moon's making the chase. Meanwhile, Larmel trying to hold them back, but he cannot. TNC lose 3 already. They'll lose a 4th in the form of KP. And Savage is given a song.
Expectation.
Got it. Tim is the only man to survive. He couldn't really get the Echo Slam off. FANATIC can happily go for that Roshan attempt now.
Yeah, I mean, that was a That was a pretty good start for TNC, but FANATIC had a mind to keep him safe. They do manage to swap him out before any real danger defaults, and which is forced to do him. I believe it was Ice, and even that wasn't enough. Just taking Ice's out of the way there, it meant that Moon could just do what he wants, and that was a big issue there as well. So you're starting to lose that potency in your lineup here from TNC. You've got to find these fights cleaner. You need to start depending on perhaps Tim's to get a big jump in, although that is going to be a very tall ask, but it is going to be pretty easy high ground defense, I suppose. So Tim's just needs to find a way to force these guys in a very compromisable position here.
Radiant's top
Well, tier 3 gone. They should find racks very easily for the side of FANATIC, and that is exactly what they do. TNT not even in position to try and defend. The Fisher, all that's going to come out as the ground will leave some illusions behind, and they do back up the safety where they can just go for that top shrine now if they wish.
Radiant's top
Looks like they are take it as well. So we have a very even game now. 1 Rax for either side. TNC does have the advantage of 1 more range Rax, but that doesn't really mean too much for the lanes.
Yeah, we're at that point where the game is starting to get a bit late. You do start to see issues coming out from TNC side. Now, don't get me wrong, they've still got a lot of potency here. I think the key thing is that they're probably going to need a double doom at some point. Maybe something to refresh on March once he gets enough gold. I think that will be the next priority after these tilty items like a Force Staff, and you know, maybe even the Solar Crest might come out. But I think the refresh is going to be needed here. Just double doom, do out both Moon and Ice. That's going to be the key in these big fights if you're not able to get the ideal initiation. Otherwise, FANATIC could be able to class now with Guardian Angel where it is and the BKBs flying out on the cores.
It does seem very important as well for BKB to come out on Gabby. If you want to get to that unkillable point, you're definitely going to need to block off all that magic damage coming in from Moon. And we'll see what Gabby does. He is queuing it up. Meanwhile, FANATIC trying to get up for another team fight. Almost finding up Mel. Savage will just casually take the tier 2 tower from the tree line.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
You've also got a Lincoln Sphere up on Moon, so it's gonna be you're gonna be very careful about that doom. Make sure you break that Lincoln's first.
KP manages to finish up his Ags. There is a little more durability in these team fights as long as KP does turn on borrowed time. Whether or not he does manage to get that off is a different question entirely. He's gonna have to jump in first while his team is around him to smite that spell.
At the very least for now, just gonna try and get out this Aegis. Let it expire, don't get that advantage. FANATIC still looking for an opening. Fortunately, TNC hasn't really given them one. And so I think we got TNC smoke. This is into the Aegis, but I believe they may just try and steal that outpost up at the northwest side. So no, they won't even go for that. They'll smoke again. Perhaps just gonna have to take the team fight, just getting ready for it. Savage is going to start applying pressure to that tier 3 tower. Savage getting closer, does cop a Fisher, but no follow-up to it, as he does just tier 3 tower with no contest. Heavenly Grace will keep him safe. He just keeps going, and the rest of the team just hands back to no. They jump in. Gabby with fun. Moon, well, trying to jump in, it seems like, off the Ember. Ice did KP up in a very nice chance from just holding them in. Now KP, though, falling very low, and he does go down. Out the Doom onto the Omni, but it doesn't matter. Moon jumps straight into the middle of all this, goes for the backline. It looks like Gabby is falling quite low on the DK, and it is going to fall. And they just don't have an answer for it.
Yeah.
He just called GG. He couldn't even get
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
They were just holding back a bit too much there, TNC. They needed to find a way to jump in. And TNC were trying different things. They doomed up Ice, which is the right idea. In this last fight, though, he already got the Guardian Angel off. So that doom was completely unnecessary. Tim's, he was just trying to look for the biggest Echo Slams as possible, but I think at that point it's just a bit too late. It just